here with Robin and Sue Clements, who have moved in the house now. You've been in here 2 months?
Since about the 11th of February, I think it was, we moved in.
Right.
Something like that.
Okay. And one of the reasons for us being here today is lots of people ask us what's it like living in an energy efficient house, and also about the build process, what it is. So we tell them what we think, but I also think it'd be nice to have this available to put online so that people can see, and Robin and Sue can explain how the build process was.
Mm-hmm.
And how the house has been so far.
We love the house, don't we? We're enjoying living in it.
Well, it's a fairly constant temperature. I mean, it sits at something like 19, 20, 21 just about all the time with no heating, cooling.
Right.
And of course, since we moved in only in summer,
Yeah.
we've only experienced it getting a bit hot. You know, if you have 2 or 3 days in a row of 25, 26, 27 degrees,
Right.
and you're coming and going outside, the temperature might creep up to 23, say. So we pop our only heat pump on,
Right.
and pull that back down to 21 or thereabouts, and just take a couple of hours, something like that.
Right.
And, other than that, it just
Okay.
sits at a temperature on its own.
And how was what made you decide to have an energy efficient house? What was the reasoning behind it in the beginning?
Well, I think at the our previous place, we did things that were sort of in that direction.
Right.
And sort of had a sympathy, if you like, for low energy, low cost, from my point of view, passive style house. And when we looked into it more, thought, yep, this sounds like us. But I wouldn't, as you know, we're not sort of zealots, if that's the right word. You know, we're not extreme. We
Yes.
just wanted to do what we could
Yes.
within a reasonable budget to get
Right.
a passive-like low energy
Going
house.
through the build process, because it's a little bit more involved than the standard build, so it takes a little bit longer. I mean, you were living next door on the site, so you saw a lot was going on.
Mm-hmm.
How was it from your side? I mean, we know what it's from our side, but you're the client and everything else. So how was it from your side? What did you think?
It was good, wasn't it? We did pop over here, which was probably distracting for AJ, but he was very good. But no, we knew what was going on and asked a few questions and.
Well, in our previous build,
Yeah.
had the same situation,
Yep.
and we knew that it was actually an advantage. And we don't regard ourselves as annoying, but it's maybe an opinion.
AJ,
But
The client's here again.
generally, I think we found that it was a win-win in that if there was an issue to be dealt with, it could be dealt with and we could make a decision,
Right.
rather than the builder perhaps going one way and then it being discovered after the event that wasn't what was wanted. So
Right.
I think it was that was a good arrangement.
And I walk up to the house and I think, I like what you've done with the schist on the outside as well, the features. I think it looks really good. What is it for you? Have you got a particular feature in the house that you like?
I think the way this room works really, and we do like the
Oh, the way
raised bit there,
we raised the bit,
cove
framed
bit
up.
there, yeah, we really like
and
that.
it
And
delineates kitchen, pantry, and living.
Right.
The
yeah,
hard flooring and the ceiling just gives you that separation. What was otherwise going to be just a big room.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I know that was the challenge for us with the false ceiling,
yes,
the heat recovery system, get everything
Yeah.
in and it be beyond the insulation.
yes.
So yeah, I remember thinking, okay, how are we going to make this work when you wanted to do that? But obviously,
Yeah, but it does. It works really well. There's lots of things that work really well that we like.
Yeah.
And the ability to be in the kitchen
Yes.
and interacting with visitors, or even on our own, personal nights, you can be cooking or in the kitchen. TV's there.
Yeah.
That's one thing we disliked in previous houses was not being able to, do the dishes or clean up and be around the TV.
And I quite often in the evening, if I've got beans and I'm freezing them, or too much corn or tomatoes and I'm making something and freezing it, I used to have to be out in the other room, away from everything, whereas I can just stand there and do it while things are going on. We've had 3 or 4 gatherings of the family, like 30 people in this room,
Right.
and it all works well. Some people move into the media room, some people can go outside if they want to, but if we had a rainy day, we could have Christmas inside for 30 people, no trouble at all.
Right.
Which is something that we wanted to be able to do.
Sure. I believe that good design is how it functions,
Yes.
and how it functions around you and what you want in the house.
Yeah.
And if you can make a house function and make it look good, you've got everything you need.
Yes.
And that's right. When we did the design from the beginning, that's what we tried to achieve.
Well, I dug out, remember the list I sent to you right at the beginning, which had some guiding principles.
Yes.
And it was, function over design and things like
Yeah.
that. So it was very much, we wanted to make the house do what we wanted.
Yeah.
We didn't need it to look pretty.
Yes.
It
But
wasn't
it
an
does.
architectural house. Well,
Well, you got the best of both worlds, didn't
Yes.
you?
Yes.
Absolutely. And if you've got that,
Exactly.
you get everything then.
Yeah.
I believe so. I look forward to coming back when you've gone through the winter and seeing how the house has performed and how you feel about that. Because I know what other people tell me, and it'll be interesting to see how the impression it's made on you.
I think it'll be quite good in the winter because now the sun's a bit lower.
Yes.
I've seen the cat curling up on the floor, so we're going to have the sun in a bit lower and a bit further, so we'll get a bit more heat in the day,
Actually-
which will be good because that's free heat.
Absolutely.
And then at night time we'll shut the curtains, and we don't really need to shut the curtains because it doesn't actually make much difference because it's so well insulated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you've got double low E on your windows,
Yes.
haven't you? So
Exactly.
But she says I have to remember to dress appropriately when I went to golf the other day. She said,
Oh, yeah.
now remember it's 20 in here and it's only 10 out there. Make sure you take enough clothes.
oh yeah.
I know, and I go on walks with my girlfriend, and we just for exercise, and we have to make sure that you take your jersey, even though you look out here and it's not windy,
Yes.
but out on the street it's windy and
Yeah.
it's actually a lot cooler
Yeah.
than I expect a lot. So
Yeah. People have told me that before. Like because they're living in an energy efficient house, they think, and they've come from a normal house, if you like, standard
Yes.
house,
Yeah.
and then they'll get up in the morning and they realise that they've got to check what the weather is outside
Yes.
because it's very different.
Because
our houses.
it can look sunny and you don't hear the wind
Yeah.
until you
Yeah.
open the door.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's the other benefit: the triple glazing, the windows,
Yeah.
and then with the insulation and the thickness of the walls, it'll be very quiet.
Yes. Well,
Absolutely.
it did help with when they were doing the development over the back,
Right.
because that was because of when I being the head, I was very sensitive to it, so it did make a big difference. In fact, I had a meeting with my physio before we'd actually moved into the house, but we had the meeting over here because I couldn't cope with the noise in the other house.
Can
Oh,
we
really?
go to the media room?
And
Yeah.
so it's quiet in here
Yeah.
before we finish.
So it was good.
Amazing.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
I very much appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you in the next few months.